who intended to perform Umrah and tried yesterday. I bet everybody who tries right now, it will be a bit hard, especially for locals, because all of a sudden, within just 2 days, you can see the haram is full and packed, mashallah. Asian brothers and sisters occupy the haram already. So the breeze of Hajj and Umrah have started. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from the pilgrims who are aiming to perform Hajj and Umrah this year. Ameen. As far as your question, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, فَإِنْ أُحْصِرْتُمْ فَمَا اسْتَيْسَرَ مِنَ الْهَجِّ. Al-Ihssar is when somebody intends to perform Umrah or Hajj, whether it is Hajjatul Islam, the first Umrah, the first Hajj, or number whatever. And the difference between number 1 and number 2 and forever is the first Hajj or Umrah is the mandatory part, is Hajjatul Islam. The fard, the first Hajj is Hajjatul Islam. After that is Tatawwa, is Nafl. So if you've performed Umrah before, according to the view which says the Umrah too is a wajib, then the second, third, fourth and up Umrah is voluntary. So whether the Hajj or the Umrah was wajib or Nafl, and the person commence into the act of Umrah or Hajj by saying لَبَّيْكَ اللَّهُمَّ عُمْرَةً. For instance, now the person must fulfill and complete the Umrah, unless in the case of Ihssar, such as what happened to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when they planned and intended to perform Umrah on the 6th year after Hijrah, which was known as Umratul Hudaybiyah, because they got stuck in a place called Al-Hudaybiyah. And you all know the story, and they failed to enter Mecca, and the conclusion was the Treaty of Al-Hudaybiyah, Sulh Al-Hudaybiyah. The Prophet ﷺ ordered the companions to shave their heads, and they slaughtered their heads, and they left without performing Umrah. But in this case, the Quran says, فَإِنْ أُحْصِرْتُمْ فَمَا اسْتَيْسَرَ مِنَ الْهَدْيِ. You owe a sheep or a hadi to be slaughtered. And number 1, this Umrah has to be made up some other time. Unless if the person, as a lady by the name Duba'a bint Zubayr, she wanted to perform Hajj, but she was kind of heavy and sick. She was afraid that she will fail to complete it. The Prophet ﷺ said, do it, وَاشْتَرِطِي. Go ahead and perform Ihram, وَاشْتَرِطِي, and put a condition or a term. Say, while you intend the talbiyah by saying لَبَّيْكَ عُمْرَةً, say, وَمَحِلِّي حَيْثُ حَبَسْتَنِي. And this is a very valuable advice for every brother and sister who are performing Hajj or Umrah this year. If they know that there is a difficulty or hardship or sickness, some people are chronically ill, and they are afraid that they may not be able to continue their Hajj. So if they say, وَمَحِلِّي حَيْثُ حَبَسْتَنِي, that term means, oh Allah, here I came to perform Umrah, or here I came to perform Hajj, whether Hajjatul Islam or voluntary Hajj and Umrah. But if I fail to, if you withhold me, the word habastani, withhold me. If you withhold me by your leave, then there I'm allowed to do tahallul. Remove my ihram, shave or trim first, and remove my ihram, and all what I owe is Hajj. فَإِنْ أُحْصِرْتُمْ فَمَا اسْتَيْسَرَ مِنَ الْهَدْيِ, without having to make up the nusuk which I started. That is the difference. So if I say this term, then I'm off the hook. I don't have to make up the Umrah which I started. The Umrah which you and your brother intended to perform perhaps was a voluntary Umrah. But once you started it, it becomes a wajib. That is the only ibadah which if you started, even if it is nafl, it becomes a must. You must fulfill it. So if you did not have this term beforehand, and you were not able to due to the authorities preventing you from performing Umrah, and this is very obvious because now they're receiving hundreds of thousands, it's going to add up to approximately 3 to 4 million people, then you owe making up this Umrah some other time whenever you have access to do so. Barakallah fi.